Violence is more than just a physical act. It leaves an invisible trail that seeps deep into the human mind, shaping thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in ways that can last a lifetime. While the physical wounds of violence may heal with time, the mental and emotional impact often lingers, creating scars that are far less visible, but equally, if not more, damaging. Whether someone is a victim, a witness, or even the perpetrator, exposure to violence can alter the brain's wiring, distort perceptions of the world, and influence how a person relates to themselves and others. Understanding these mental effects is crucial because without acknowledging them, the cycle of violence can repeat, trapping individuals and communities in a loop of fear, trauma, and unresolved pain. One of the most common psychological effects of experiencing or witnessing violence is the development of post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. This condition can haunt a person with flashbacks, nightmares, and intrusive thoughts about the violent event. Even the smallest reminder, a sound, a smell, or a familiar location, can trigger a flood of fear and anxiety, making it difficult for someone to feel safe, even in a secure environment. The brain becomes hyper-alert, scanning constantly for danger, and this state of heightened vigilance drains emotional and physical energy, leaving the person exhausted yet unable to relax. An equally significant mental impact is the erosion of trust. Violence shatters the basic belief that the world is a safe place and that people can be trusted. For victims, this loss of trust can manifest in difficulty forming new relationships or opening up emotionally to others. Friendships, romantic partnerships, and even family connections can suffer when a person feels they must guard themselves at all times. In some cases, this mistrust turns inward, causing individuals to doubt their own judgment, question their worth, and feel undeserving of kindness or love. Violence also has a profound effect on self-esteem and self-image. Victims often internalize the aggression they experienced, believing that somehow they caused or deserved it. This self-blame can be corrosive, leading to feelings of shame, guilt, and unworthiness. Over time, these emotions may solidify into a distorted self-perception, where the individual sees themselves only through the lens of their trauma. This low sense of self-worth can influence every decision they make, from career choices to relationships, and it can keep them trapped in situations where they continue to be mistreated. Anxiety and depression are frequent companions of those who have been exposed to violence. The constant tension, fear, and emotional instability that follow a traumatic event can overwhelm the brain's ability to regulate mood and stress. Anxiety might show up as restlessness, irritability, or panic attacks, while depression can drain motivation, cause emotional numbness, and create a deep sense of hopelessness. In severe cases, the combination of anxiety and depression can make everyday tasks feel impossible, isolating the person even further from support and connection. For children, the mental effects of violence can be especially profound and long-lasting. Young brains are still developing, and exposure to violent situations, whether in the home, school, or community, can alter the way their brains process information and emotions. Children who grow up around violence may develop behavioral issues, struggle academically, or have trouble managing anger and frustration. In many cases, they also begin to normalize violence, seeing it as an acceptable way to solve problems, which increases the risk of them becoming perpetrators later in life. The mental toll of violence can also manifest physically, as the brain and body are deeply connected. Chronic exposure to violence can keep the stress hormone cortisol at elevated levels, which, over time, can lead to headaches, muscle tension, digestive issues, and even heart problems. This physical strain further impacts mental health, creating a cycle where emotional pain leads to physical discomfort, which in turn worsens emotional distress. Another overlooked effect is the way violence can distort a person's worldview. Victims or witnesses may begin to see the world as a hostile, dangerous place, which influences how they interact with others and make life choices. They might avoid certain situations, limit social interactions, or pass up opportunities because they fear encountering harm again. This self-protective mindset can create a life that feels smaller, more confined, and less fulfilling, as the individual prioritizes safety over growth and exploration. Violence also affects the ability to regulate emotions. After a traumatic experience, some people become emotionally numb, shutting down feelings entirely to avoid pain. Others may find their emotions intensified, reacting with anger, fear, or sadness in ways that feel uncontrollable. Emotional dysregulation can strain relationships, disrupt work or school performance, and make it harder to recover from the trauma. For those who perpetrate violence, the mental effects are not absent. They simply manifest differently. Many perpetrators have histories of trauma themselves, And engaging in violent behavior can deepen feelings of guilt, shame, and alienation. Over time, this can lead to desensitization, where empathy and compassion diminish, making it easier to harm others. This mental detachment not only perpetuates violent behavior, but also creates an internal emptiness that is difficult to fill. Healing from the mental effects of violence requires more than just time. It demands understanding, support, and often professional intervention. Therapy can help individuals process their trauma, rebuild trust, and develop coping strategies that allow them to reclaim their sense of safety and self-worth. Support networks, whether made up of friends, family, or community resources, play a crucial role in providing the empathy and stability that can guide someone out of the mental shadows of violence. At its core, violence is not just an event. It's an experience that changes the way the mind works. It rewires thoughts, reshapes emotions, and redefines how a person sees themselves and the world. By acknowledging and addressing the mental effects of violence, we can begin to break the cycle, offering hope and healing to those who have been touched by its reach. Recognizing that the mind holds on to these wounds just as the body does is the first step toward creating a society where the scars of violence are treated with the seriousness and compassion they deserve.